Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a throwaway account in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled, "I told my wife that if she wants to be a trade wife, then she must always look her best, wait on me, and provide sex without question when asked. I am 35 years old and my wife is 40. We have been together for 15 years. Over the last couple of years, she has really fallen down the traditional wife rabbit hole, and it is driving me crazy. At first, it started off with her saying she did not want to work anymore, and lately it has escalated to her saying that men who make their wives work are abusive. We both have well-paid jobs. I am a self-employed builder with a team and earn around £100,000 a year. She works in management for the National Health Service and earns around £50,000 a year. We both work very hard. We have no children and 3 years ago managed to pay our mortgage off. We lived in a nice enough area where I would have happily stayed forever. However, she suddenly wanted a massive house that we did not need. I should have seen what was coming. She was looking at £700,000 houses, which would require a mortgage of £500,000 after we sold our house. I gave in and we bought a house. She then wanted a new car, which again I caved to, and she got a car that is worth more than she earns in a year. She then decided she did not want to work anymore. She said her job was terrible, and I said, take a lower paid one that you will enjoy more. She said no. She just does not want to work, full stop. She also does not want to give up anything she has. Over the past couple of years, it has been obvious that she is trying to lose her job without actually leaving, despite me saying that I cannot afford the house, car, and holidays on my own. She started bringing this traditional wife stuff up, but said she would want to hire a cleaner as the house is too big for her to clean alone. And she prefers my cooking to hers, so I would still do all the cooking. So I said, you basically want to dress up pretty and bake the occasional cake. She stormed off and said I did not get it. She brought it up again yesterday, and I said fine, she can do it, but she has to get up before me and make sure my breakfast is ready like in the video she watches. She has to be dressed as a glamorous version of a 1950s housewife like in the video she watches from the moment I open my eyes to the moment I close them. The house must be spotless at all times, like in the video she watches. I want huge packed lunches for work, like in the video she watches. I want to come home and have beautiful pies and cakes ready for dessert, like in the video she watches. I want a bath drawn for when I get in and then come down to a proper meal every night, like in the video she watches. I then want a foot rub while I eat the cakes and pies she makes, like in the video she watches. I also want intimacy on demand, how I want it, when I want it, like in the video she watches. She called me abusive, a user, sexist, and so on, and stormed out to her equally delusional sister's house. To be honest, I am ready for a divorce if this continues. Am I the asshole? Update. I would like to answer a few questions from my first post before giving an update. No, my requests were not serious, and I cannot believe how many people thought they were. I was simply trying to prove a point about how ridiculous she is being. As I said in the comments, I do not want a maid or a servant. I want a partner. Before my wife started down this path, she was a very ambitious, career-driven person who wanted to climb to the top. She was never really on social media until the pandemic. The traditional wife mindset started a couple of years ago. A lot of people suggested couples counseling. I have asked many times and always get the same response. I do not need counseling, there is nothing wrong with me. On to the update. We spoke on Saturday morning and I told her that I cannot go on like this. I told her bluntly that the traditional wife thing is never happening, and she either accepts it and we go to couples counseling or we separate. I am done dancing around her nonsense. She chose to split up. I asked her if she even truly wanted to be a traditional wife or if she was just trying to push me away, like she is trying to get her job to fire her because she does not have the courage to quit herself. She said yes, that she does want this, and there are plenty of dating sites that cater to this dynamic. I told her I had seen them and they are more sugar daddy type arrangements, and without being cruel, she is too old for that. This set her off. She said I am wrong and that I am the one who cannot support my wife. so I am the bad one in the marriage and a real man would be able to give her the life she wants. She shouted and screamed this at the top of her lungs. It was about the only time I have been glad to be in our new house, so the neighbors did not hear. I got a bit petty at the real man comment and said, "You cannot cook, you cannot clean, and you do not want intimacy. What part of being a traditional wife do you offer?" I then borrowed a comment from my last post and said she does not want to be a traditional wife. She wants to be a trophy wife. She just said I am unbelievable and has gone to her sisters again. I'm going to take the next couple of weeks to start talking to a divorce lawyer to see what this entails. Then, once this is underway, I am heading off to Portugal for a couple of weeks by myself. Pelagia said, I really struggle to understand how this lady expects things to work out for her. Who is going to pay for everything? An imaginary traditional husband. To this user Misfire551 said, the depressing but unavoidable fact is that the vast majority of men who can afford to support a traditional or trophy wife do not want a 40-year-old unless she is absolutely drop-dead gorgeous or has the ability to fuck him in half. Allison Wunderland said, someone should link the X to the article about Ballerina Farm and the nightmare that woman is trapped in. To this user Acceptable Serial said, was it not horrific? It is very much a capture a pretty bird and keep it in a cage story. Lysica said, it is amazing how many people want to be a traditional wife but do not want to do any of the actual tasks. It is like, why do you think people spent decades on women's liberation? Being a proper traditional wife is tough. This next post was made in the same subreddit by a user named Agitated Health. The post is titled, I didn't invite my best friend on a girls' trip. I'm a 22-year-old woman and my friends and I go on a girls' trip every December since we all have breaks from university. We are a group of 6 girls and have been doing this since we were 18. We were not able to go last year because of the pandemic. My best friend, a 21-year-old woman, has a 14-month-old son. Since her son was born, we have not had a day alone with her, which I guess is understandable because she is a new mother. We tried to include her in all the plans we had since she had her child, but noticed she would always ask if we could change what the plan was to accommodate her baby coming as well. This meant the plan was almost always a coffee shop. I genuinely did not mind changing all of the plans to be more child-friendly and just assumed she could not get her husband or parents to watch her baby for a while. I called her a few weeks ago to ask if she wanted to come to a club with us, and she asked if we could go to a coffee shop instead so she could bring her baby. I asked if there was no one who could watch her baby, to which she replied that she would feel overwhelming mother's guilt if she went to a club and left her baby at home. I said I understood, but that I really needed a night out, but we could do coffee the next day. She texted me the following day asking why I had such a big problem having her child around. I was baffled because I am the one constantly changing plans to accommodate her son, but I asked her to understand my side for one night. I really needed a night out and did not want to be in a coffee shop. She sounded agitated by my reasoning, but left it at that. Now the girls' trip is coming up in a week. I did not really tell her about the trip because I knew she could not come alone, but she heard about it from another friend. She jokingly asked why I did not invite her, and I laughed it off because I felt so awkward. I told her she was welcome to come as always and I would love to have her there. I thought the call was an indication that she would come alone. She called the next day to ask if the resort where we were going to stay was child-friendly. I said it was not, as we were looking for more of a club atmosphere, and that is what it was. She then said she could not make it if it was not going to properly accommodate her son in the activities we planned. I said I understand and that I am sorry. I received a call from her older sister last night calling me all sorts of names because I did not want my best friend's son to come on the girls' trip and that I am being childish. I am genuinely still in such shock and do not even know how to type what I am feeling right now. We have not had proper fun together in ages because either we are too busy caring for my best friend's baby or a few of us were missing because of the pandemic and other issues. This is the first time we have all been together since we graduated from undergraduate school and started our master's degrees. We have had hectic years and just wanted one carefree holiday. So am I the asshole for wanting our annual girls trip to actually be a girls trip? Edit. I tried to hint once that I wanted my birthday a few months ago to be just us, but she laughed it off and made a joke about how she and her son are attached at the hip and she could not leave him. She asked if we could minimize how much alcohol there was going to be so she could bring her son. Update. So, for anyone who read my previous post and shared their advice, thank you, and here is an update. We went on our girls' trip and had the best week we have had since before the pandemic started. We all kind of chose not to speak about the issue with our friend and just have a good time, planning to sort out the issue when we got back home. The day after we returned, I texted my best friend and asked if we could come over to see her and her son and also deliver the gifts we had gotten them during the trip. She read the message but did not reply for 3 days. I called her husband just to ask if she was okay, and he said she was, but he did not know why she was not responding to me. Anyway, I decided not to double text as I did not want to nag her. She texted back after 3 days with an essay-like response explaining how disappointed she felt that I thought she would give up days of motherhood just to drink and be a skank. Good to know what she thinks of us then, LOL. She ended the message by saying that she and her husband are trying for another baby and that she does not have the mental capacity to deal with our crap. After that, she left all the group chats and blocked us all on every social media platform. So that is that, I guess. Best friends since year 4, and this is how our friendship has ended. I am still baffled, to be honest, but maybe it was for the best. I hope I will see the good in this one day. Kimchi Paradise said, the mother needs therapy. She sounds like she has a warped view of parenthood and motherhood, and her entire value as a mother is defined solely by the amount of time spent with her child, to the point that she extends this expectation to the people around her. When people suggest separating her from her child, she takes it personally. It is fine if you want that for yourself, but judging other mothers for doing things differently is where the problem lies. To this user, ECDC said, yes, this is unhinged. If she cannot handle being away from her baby for one night to spend time with friends, then she is going to burn out as a parent really fast and be miserable. At best, she will lose her entire identity as anything other than a mother. CWG4BF said, if this is how the woman behaves and reacts when her friends who are in their early 20s want to have a girls' night out or go to a club, I do not want to imagine how badly she will react when it is her child doing it in 15 to 20 years. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.